part 2. That has used 8% of battery, 25 minutes. See, that's actually quite good. Now, the problem is, of course, it's going to take 10 hours to load it up. But the reason I've made this today is I know this evening, it's walkie time now, okay? This is going to be the only clear day. I know this evening I'm going to a place of much better phone signal because I've got to be somewhere tomorrow morning. I don't have to be anywhere, but there's a little advantage to me to be somewhere at kind of 9 o'clock tomorrow morning where there's much better signal. My point is, it is so satisfying, and I do mean it. And I actually even know this is the key to this thing that everybody, well, no, I know they're all suffering from terrible mental health. But of course, we've got into a stage of people not really even speaking about it like this. Their arguments, their excuses are so sophisticated about the variability of one's mental state. If you're living on the edge, I don't like to talk in this melodramatic terms. If you're living, it's a miracle this vehicle hasn't broken down. I have no spare money if it breaks down. But that's a good thing. That's been a good thing. Yeah, I was going to say this. The only thing I can't do, I just don't have the time. Yeah, because this little crock of shit, it actually takes about 3 hours to charge it up 100%. And if I'm typing, it only then gives about 2 hours. But I just don't have time to what's the word they use? The key to things like Substack is discovery. They call it, that's the technical word. Megan Dowm uses it. She's amusing. I don't have the time to figure how to be discovered. If you want to assist and want much more great philosophy, now I can't stand speaking like this, so I'm being ironic in a way, and I don't expect anybody ever to do anything, but figure a way to link, to spread me. I can't do it. I don't have any social media. Yeah, this is the most important thing of all, really. I don't understand. Well, no, not now. This is the most important thing. That I was thick. I am thick. I'm limited. Even though my mind is actually in its best it's ever been in my life. I used to go to sleep 10 years ago, 15 years ago. If I'd had a good thought before sleep, it's like, oh Christ, I've got to write it down. Because I won't remember it. If I have a good thought before I go to sleep, I always wake up with that thought there. That's wonderful. And I'm surrounded, the whole of the Southwest. It probably not the Serb, I don't know. But they also, they've got they don't use the word mental issues anymore. They've got so much more sophisticated. Oh, my mind only works in a certain way. Upsy downsy, whatever. No, your mind changes. But I think the deal is that if you're living in a mode such that you're aware that the way your mind is operating over the next few days is kind of critical to your existence. Your proper existence. I know it's not going to be -10 because I look at the weather forecast and the BBC can't be that wrong. So I know there's nothing critical. I know that nothing is going to cause me to die except just ordinary life events, or maybe I'm just about to die this second because there's a stroke just about to happen in my head and like a fatal embolism. Who knows? But I know there's nothing, and I drive so slowly always. And I even predict, the driving is appalling. It's unbelievable. There will be black ice this morning. And yet you go on the roads around here and there's people driving at 70 miles, 80 miles. I just can't believe it. And they don't grit. I just can't believe how... is it because they've got something in the fancy electronic dashboards that says, bing, bing, ice warning, bing, bing. So they think, that's enough. I can still drive at 70 miles an hour. And the roads around here are really... there's so much black ice. And also rain falling onto freezing roads, which is the worst. I don't want to have part of the, I don't want to be part of the, they're all stupid. But I don't care about that. I do care when you meet reasonably intelligent people, my kind of age group, particularly women, who say, yeah, I get that. I get that tyranny. I get that tyranny. And then, oh yeah, there's the voice 10 recording is so important that I made a couple of days ago. I'm going to collect it into a page with this. And it sounds nothing, but it is so fundamental. That's all I'm going to do with the rest of my life. But I've got to do it by doing some writing myself. And it's got to be proper. And I don't actually believe in proper writing. Actually, one of the... no, shut up. I haven't got that much battery. But to keep to the point, what was the point? I've forgotten what the point was now. Yes, this business of everybody. It's like endless. Oh, my mind's got some deficiency. My memory's got some deficiency. None of them believe that I eat exactly the same food today as I did 30 years ago. I drink exactly the same, about 8 cups of very strong black coffee until 11 o'clock in the morning, as I've done all my life. Smoke exactly the same amount of roll-ups. My mind has improved a heck of a lot the last 10 or 15 years. There are subtle little reasons, and I know it's by taking part, it's by having, and I've got huge series, some of which is kind of in private audios between me and others, which if I put that into a collection of multimedia, but it needs to be written, okay? I care. Because they're so boring, because you invest a huge amount of time, as I have done, at night, for example, into the cancelled cheeky bishop, Joe Penberthy, I met 2 years ago. I put 500 hours into her. And all you get is, oh, my mind's failing. She's the same age as me. Oh, my memory's failing. Love. There is a solution, which is do stuff that's a bit risky, which means in Britain, stand up for your position, which she's told me she has. Stand up for your values publicly. You will lose friends. You will make enemies. You will even lose money. But do that, and it's astonishing how your mind, how it's a gradual process, but it works. I don't have any memory issues. I have a better memory today, like at least 5 times better memory today than I had 15 years ago. And I had an okay memory. But no, they can't listen. It's always, they've read some clever thing, or they've heard some stupid wanker on talking about, nowadays this notion of like psychedelics are going to, it's just a joke, okay? No, by living fully, I'm going to now spend 4 hours walking in the hills, okay? Because there's nice weather. In balance, but a certain amount of the time. I've taken on recently somebody who I know if he goes around talking in his community about my opinions of the appalling council libraries, for example, that will damage me. But no, I said, okay, I'm going to trust you because he says he agrees with me. So we've kind of began a little bit of a battle. It's not a battle, it's just straightforward. We wish for certain things to be put into public that are useful rather than this utter disastrous, woke, self-pitying crap that all public services have become. The end. But as I said, this is a vehicle to just show how stupid I am. But I mean it. I'm not being like making myself out to be something. It's just, I haven't been hitting. What do they say? Hitting on myself. But it's like, why didn't I think of that? Actually, 16 years ago. But why didn't I think of it a couple of years ago? When the battery issue really was becoming so problematical because his phone's getting so old. And if you're looking at this, you're going to think, he's lying because he's just taken 40 minutes of video with his phone. I don't understand it. Actually, that's a good way to end. I'm glad I came around to that. My Substacks are often like this, okay? It's like, that's a good way to end. I don't understand it. The battery, even 2 years ago in the winter, the battery in this phone would just collapse just like that. And I haven't done anything to it. Can't afford to get my good one fixed. But now it's lasting okay. I know it could be that the warming this morning had been so good that the core of the battery is so nicely warmed up that I've tricked it into the fact that it believes it's in summer when the batteries last longer. I don't know. And I know that I may have exactly the same behavior with this phone tomorrow morning, warm it up the same amount of time, blah, 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 and turn it on, and the battery might literally last 10 minutes. There is no knowing. And this is one of the, well, I think Samsung's the top brand in the world. This is Samsung, okay? And HP. There is no knowing. And Lenovo, never get a Lenovo. Right, there we go, the end. Vehicles, but I'm interested in the vehicles really to talk about the mind, psychology, sociobiology, etc., which I've been reading all my life, and I know they're all like a work in progress.